Hello world, Shelly here, and today it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest. I am going to check out from By Terry. We got a lot of H's coming. This is the Hyaluronic Hydra Foundation Hydrating Foundation. Retails for $59. You get 1 fluid ounce of product. It comes in 15 different shades. I have the lightest shade 100C Fair. This is described as a hydrating foundation that perfects and hydrates skin, buildable coverage infused with hyaluronic acid, SPF 30, long wear, and a vegan formula. Now, By Terry is no longer considered a cruelty-free brand. They do not test their products on animals, nor do their suppliers. However, they do now sell in mainland China, where aftermarket animal testing is required by law. If China were to change that rule, it is possible that a company like By Terry would suddenly be cruelty-free again. But in the meantime, if that is one of your criteria for a cruelty-free brand, which in my case it is, By Terry is not cruelty-free. But this formula is vegan. It's described as a unique formula with, yeah, that doesn't sound unique actually. They're just describing how hyaluronic acid works. Yeah, shake well before use. 2 drops for sheer coverage, 4 for medium, 6 for full. Use fingertips or a brush. And that's about all they have to say about that. Let's take a look at this shade, swatched against a few others in my collection. Alrighty, let's swatch. First up is today's foundation from By Terry. This is the Hyaluronic Hydra Foundation in shade 100 Cool. Note that I do have self-tanner on my arm, which is why my shades look so light. The second shade is also from By Terry. This is the Denzalis Anti-Wrinkle Serum Foundation in the second lightest shade, Cream Ivory. Third up, I've got from Pure, the Love Your Selfie in shade LP2. This would be like my lightest winter shade. Fourth swatch, I've got from Estee Lauder, the Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. And last, I've got from MAC, the Mineralize Foundation in shade NW13. I've already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 45-year-old face. I got, when I placed my order from the By Terry website, the Hyaluronic Hydra Primer. I was going back in some Tati Westbrook videos, and this primer is one that Tati recommends as one of her high-end makeup loves that are worth the money. And I find that sometimes her drugstore recommendations are, I would just say, like, thinly tested. They haven't been tested a whole lot. She'll recommend things that she might have had a good first impression of. But I find that her high-end makeup recommendations are usually very solid. So this came as one of my little throw-ins in the box, one of the purchase perks. I've got some other By Terry stuff that I'll be checking out. I got a sample of this with my purchase, the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder. I did order the full size of this from the Beautylish gift card event. That was supposed to come yesterday via FedEx, and it did not arrive, and so now it's supposed to come today via FedEx, and it's not here yet. So I'll just use this little sample. So we will be testing out some By Terry stuff. Sounds quite liquidy. I will go in on one side of my face with a sponge. Another thing they threw in the box with my order. This is from By Terry. The other side I will use a brush. This is my Sigma F80. We'll see if there is a preference one way or the other. There is a very noticeable scent. Like most By Terry and high-end makeup products, there is added fragrance in this formula. I also noticed there's some good skincare in here. There's some niacinamide in here. There are some hydrating ingredients, so looks nice on the ingredient list, except for that added fragrance. Very light coverage with the sponge, though they did recommend a brush or fingertips for this one, though this really glides on like a dream. It blends very, very smoothly. I'm not sure if that's the combination of the primer and the foundation, or if it's just the foundation, but that is a nice, quick, beautiful finish. I would say we get some redness cancellation from one side to the other. A very skin-like finish, not too dewy, not too flat. Let's try the brush side. blends very easily with the brush as well. I think you get maybe a smidge more coverage with the brush, but it's not very much different in terms of coverage. I'd say if you like sponges, then go ahead and use the sponge. They claim this is buildable. I started out with 4 drops. They say 6 would be full coverage. I would say this is still pretty light coverage. I'm going to go with 4 more drops for my whole face, and let's see if we can build this up a bit. This does build up, but I feel like I liked the finish a little bit better before I layered it. So I would say start with the amount of product that you want and get it all put down on one layer if you want to have fuller coverage, as opposed to going in little by little and building up the layers. I will say I've got some flaking skin on my forehead right now, and it is really doing a nice job at not accentuating it. Of course, I can still see the peelies, but it is really hiding them at a distance. I can't even see them. Now, I also want to mention, of course, this is my winter shade, and go figure, I'm self-tanning a little bit, but I'm not leaving my house. Nobody's going to see that I don't match, so it doesn't really matter. I figured I'm spending the big bucks. I might as well get the shade that's going to cover me 99% of the year, which is winter, and this does look very much like my winter shade. It will not match my neck because I have self-tanner on my neck, but yeah, let's take a look at how this one is laying. Oh, let me get this cat hair off of my mouth. I think so far, I feel like this blends out very, very smoothly. I'm not the biggest fan of the second layer look. I think it looked nicer before I put the second layer on. I feel like there's just a couple spots that because of that second layer, I can kind of see the makeup on top of my skin. I've got a little bit of maybe tendency toward polka dot pores. We'll see if that materializes into a problem area or not. I do very much like the smoothing of this. I don't think it does much to fill pores, but I do think the texture on my skin looks nice and smooth. It's not emphasizing the texture on my cheeks or in between my eyebrows. And it's doing a pretty good job camouflaging my flaking skin, which is impressive because not many foundations can do that. So that is where we're starting out. Where's my phone? In my pocket. What time is it? It's 3:16. Let me go put the rest of my face on. I'll be right back. Okay, nothing unusual to report. I am wearing the Dior Skin Correct concealer. It was a little bit too dark for this foundation, but that's okay. That's okay. I know I'm definitely not matching, but this is pretty good for my winter shade. I can just tell. So, no trouble with blending concealer. I did end up setting it with the By Terry Hyaluronic powder. It is a translucent powder. It was beautiful. I had no trouble with it caking up or anything like that. It's a very, very, very fine powder, the kind that, like, you know, will like float out of the little powder bin everywhere, but they make a mess, but they look beautiful on the skin. I'm glad I ordered the full size because I think it's very pretty. I think at a distance this is beautiful. I still can see the little flakes of skin that I have that are peeling, but what are you gonna do? I got peeling skin right now. Yeah, on the rest of my face, I am wearing, I put them away already, the Balm Desert bronzer, no surprises here. Balm Desert, Hourglass Ambient Light and Diffused Heat Blush, Natasha Denona Super Glow highlights. My eyes are the Pat McGrath Divine Rose Mothership palette. I did film this as a makeup and chill. I don't know if it'll go up before or after this, but it's a bonus video coming up. And my lip is the Charlotte Tilbury the Lip Cheat Liner in Pillow Talk with the By Terry Rose Balm. This is supposedly one of their cult classic products, and I see why. It feels beautiful, and it feels like skincare, which that's how By Terry products just feel to me anyway, which I really enjoy. So I'm also wearing CoverGirl Mascara Primer with my old favorite Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Mascara, Stila Liquid Liner. That's about all the things. I will be back in a bit with a daylight check-in, and I will come back tonight and give you guys my final thoughts. Hey guys, it has been about 2 hours. I want to get a daylight check in so you can see what this shade looks like out in natural lighting. I think it looks quite nice. Why does my hair look like I slicked it back like it's the 60s or something? I did not. But here's some close-up. Of course it's not going to match because I've got some self-tanner on, but the shade I think definitely looks like my winter shade. Feels very nice. I think it looks very nice. There you go, 2 hours. I'll be back tonight. We will wrap this one up. 12:49 a.m. That puts us just around 9.5 hours. Let's take a look at how the beautifully packaged by Terry Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation held up. I can say, as expected, very comfortable, does not feel drying at all. My skin feels really good. I actually, again, forgot I was wearing makeup. Both my eyes and my face went to scratch my eyeball, like literally scratched my eyelid, so can't believe the eyeshadow stayed on. But yeah, so almost went to bed without filming this. I'm actually already in my pajama pants, so yeah, that's always a good sign. Let's take a look up close at how it looks. You know, this one is breaking down just a bit, and considering we're just past 9 hours, we're not at like 12 or 13 or anything like that, the wear time is a little bit disappointing. I'm getting polka dot pores and breakdown on my chin and polka dot pores on my nose. Blush, bronzer, highlighter still very well intact, but on other areas, it's just, you know, the makeup is starting to kind of break apart and clump up, which is not the most graceful way for a foundation to break down. It did not gather into any of my fine lines, but it did settle just a little bit into my deepest chin line. So I would say if you have maturing skin, it's going to be fine for fine lines, but if you've got deeper lines, you might have some settling going on. The wear time's just not super fantastic. I also don't think it looks as nice as the by Terry Densalis, the anti-wrinkle serum foundation. You guys know I fell head over heels for that one. I have 2 different shades of it. Still don't have my correct shade, but when I mix the 2 that I have, it seems to work. I've got shade 2 and shade 5, but at $125 a pop, I'm not going to buy a third one. This one, not quite as expensive, but not quite as much of a favorite. Super comfortable, super pretty. Could wear a little bit better. So if I had to give a grade to the by Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Foundation, I'm gonna go B+. It's totally wearable. Definitely recommend trying it out if you get a chance to try it out. Like if you can get a sample. They actually sent me a sample with it. I thought I left it right here, but now I don't see it here. I don't know where I put it. So you can get samples if you're buying another maybe less expensive by Terry product and you want to try the foundation. You can get a sample of it from them. That's ordering directly through by Terry. Now I will say their shipping, fan-friggin-tastic. It came from France. They shipped it on March 26th. Today is April 1st. This is no foolin'. That's pretty freaking amazing. It got here all the way from France. So really good ship times, considering, especially when everything seems to be taking longer to ship right now. So that was awesome. You also get a bunch of free stuff, you know, a bunch of trial sizes, a bunch of things included in your package. So I do recommend shopping directly from their website. If you're a first-time shopper, they did have a promo code for signing up for their newsletter. It was an extra 10% off. I don't know if it's the same code for everyone. I guess it is. I think it was Welcome 10, but your first order from them, you would get 10% off. Yeah, I'm going to go B+ on this one. I like it. I think I like the more expensive one a little bit more, but I like it. It's pretty. It's nice. And the bottle is going to look beautiful. sitting like a little raindrop on my vanity. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you enjoy foundation reviews, if you liked this one, give me a thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments what foundations you would like to see next. If you want to see what I've already reviewed, go to geekoutofwater.com, click the Foundation Fest link. I have a ranked, sortable, searchable spreadsheet of all of my foundation reviews. We are approaching the 200 foundation review mark. I will do a giveaway as soon as we hit 200. I don't know, is this 200? I need to look and find out where we're at. Not sure. As always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.